Okay, we call the meeting to order at 5:05. You have a chance to review the minutes?
I did.
Any, Dylan?
Yeah.
Any comments on them?
No. Entertain a motion to, make a motion to accept the minutes of June 20th.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You've got warrants and abatements are done. Want to bring up tonight, we talked last time about the ZBA meeting.
Yeah.
And they approved that project down in 0 Matfield Street. They just sent in the actual decision to the town clerk's office. And they wanted to bring up tonight if we want to do a formal appeal of the decision. Because we have 20 days from when it gets filed to do it. So if we don't do it tonight, we might lose a limit.
Well, what do we have to do, what do we have to lose by filing an appeal?
I don't think we have to lose anything, and I think there's problems with the decision that
Okay.
I don't see that it would be a problem, but we need to, I'm not gonna just do it. We need to vote as a commission to do it, and then we need to get authorization to spend money on an attorney to do the appeal, because town council by default has to defend the ZBA's decision. So we need,
What would be our grounds for the?
well, there's a few of them. There's an issue with frontage that I've heard two different people. One says that you can't do anything with no frontage. Someone else is saying, well, yeah, it doesn't there's no specific frontage requirement, so maybe you can't. But that's attorneys. But there is, right in the Water Resource Protection Overlay District, this is not listed as an allowed use.
Okay.
And it's not listed as a permitted use with a special permit either.
All right.
So there's that. The way the decision's written actually has a bunch of problems because they seem to be talking about the Water Resource Protection Overlay and the Zone 2 is the same thing. And they're not. The Water Resource Protection Overlay includes the Zone 2, but it goes beyond it. That entire lot is Water Resource Overlay District. And they're talking about things happening on the lot, different things in the Zone 2, and calling the Zone 2 the Water Resource Protection District. So I think they got a problem just with that. Because they literally can't do anything in West Bridgewater that's not in the district. And they're saying they're gonna be parking trucks, box trucks, service vehicles outside of the Water Resource Protection District. And
Which
then-
is in the other zone that you referenced?
Well, the Zone 2's inside that. When they did I went back and looked at the zoning bylaw, because I only vaguely remember when they put it in. But they start by doing the Zone 2 line, all the modeling and everything else that they do for the wells.
Yep.
But then the zoning goes beyond that to make it easier. If it's going through the middle of the lot, they'll go out like to the street.
Oh, yeah.
They square everything off. Well, that whole corner of town is Water Resource Overlay Protection. So that's actually the map up there. And the Zone 2 goes through about half of that lot, but the whole lot is covered by the district. So and it's even,
So is it, okay.
you know what I mean? So basically, they're writing it up as if there's things being done in two separate parts, but it's all over the
Protected area.
Yeah, should be. And so I'm not quite sure why they picked it up that way. So I would think that is a problem that we should at least bring up on the appeal, because, if we don't, we're kind of giving that away in the future. That's why it's zoned the way it is. Their findings, they say it's allowed, but when they say it's allowed is just in the regular district. They're not saying it's allowed in the overlay district.
So they need clarification on that? Or they should have
I think they
clarification on that?
need, and they'd have to redo it, I think. And then again, in the decision itself, that's still getting Zone 2 and Water Resource Protection District combined, and they're not. So there's issues with that. And then we had sent we had talked about it, we approved the letter to go
Right.
in opposition.
Yep.
One of the things we mentioned was the fact that the operations in there already went onto our property, because we're the abutting, we own the abutting property. Well, next to last thing in the decision is, well, we're gonna waive the fencing, you don't have to fence the lot off, because it's out in the middle of the woods. Well, I don't know if they read the letter and they're giving us the finger, or if they didn't read the letter. Which I'm starting to wonder if maybe they just ignored what was in the letter altogether. Because why would you tell them they don't have to fence the lot if you already know they're doing work off the lot in the past?
Yeah, they cleared part of our lot.
And I think they had dumpster, they at least had dirt piles, they might have had dumpsters on it as well. I don't know, if Wayne wasn't out there fixing that leak right now, that would be, I know he'd remember. But I think there's enough there that it's worth at least investigating an appeal.
Typically, what does this cost from previous?
I asked, and to initially do it's probably a couple $1,000s, depending on who it is and how much they have to put into it, and then how long it goes. But we have, I think it's a $5,000 item in the budget for legals. It's just that because it's outside, we'll still have to, have the selectmen approve going to outside counsel. I think there's enough there between what they've done, between just how this is written.
Okay.
And again, there's the whole issue of, is it even allowed because it definitely would be allowed, I guess, under the general residential and farming. But it's not, it doesn't say it's allowed under the district.
Okay.
Because of what, and if it was left out, it was left out for a reason.
So where does this appeal go? I mean, if we appeal the ZBA, do they hear it again, or does it?
No,
something that goes to
I
higher-
believe it goes to, we have to file something with this town clerk that we're going to do it, have the attorney look at it, figure out what to appeal and go. Eventually, I think it goes to the Superior District Court.
That'll take years to be heard.
I don't think they take, for some reason, I'm not in the impression these things take that long, but.
Well, obviously, it's in our best interest.
I mean, I think it is,
I think it's worth it, just off the way you had mentioned alone.
and just the fact that they're putting something in that we've been opposed to, we came out, it's like it wasn't even considered.
Yeah.
I think we're not doing our jobs if we don't at least try to push back on it.
I agree.
And I would like to get a motion that the Water Commissioners will appeal the decision of the Zoning Board of Appeals for 0 Matfield Street, rear, West Bridgewater, Mass. Assessors Map 13, Lot 60.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carrie, you don't have to, if you're trying to scribble that down, you can just take that off the top of the
Yeah, that right here.
Okay. Second one we need is a vote to request the Board of Selectmen to approve outside counsel.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? And Carrie, I can talk to you about that after. Basically, we can do that with an email.
No, the letter from you guys.
Well, we can send an email to the Board of Selectmen and David
Okay,
about, that we voted to do this, and that we voted to do the appeal, so they have a record of it.
okay.
We don't have to send a hard copy, is what I was told.
Oh, okay.
We'll attach a copy of the ZBA decision to it, so it's clear what we're appealing.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and actually, it has to go to the town clerk also, because they file it at the town clerk. Right, any, further discussion?
No.
Okay, move along to the next one. 102 West Center Street, updated water service.
He's trying to do something, Wayne has all the information.
What's 102 West Center?
So it's the building across the street from the fire station, there's a bunch of there's apartments that are like on the.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And I don't really know what's going on. The guy that owns it, Tom Kennedy,
yeah.
he's come in and spoke to me a couple times, so Wayne said he would talk to you guys about, I really don't know the details.
Oh, so it's not a rush to
No.
keep it off to the next one?
Yeah.
Can we table it till next meeting?
Mhm.
Okay, we make a motion to take it?
So moved, motion to table.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, let's see, we don't have Wayne here for these others, although I know, the Taylor and Howard stuff, Jim Hoyt's on vacation right now, so we can't really go through much of that. The first 4 bullets. Oak Hill Way, well, that stuff, we're appealing it, there's nothing else for us to discuss on that. Do you know if we got anything on solar?
So,
Okay.
he said he did, because I asked him before he left, I said, do you have any notes or anything? Usually he does like bullet points to talk about, and he said he doesn't, nothing's pressing, it can all wait till the next meeting, so he didn't give me anything, so I really don't know where we are with any of this.
All right, so we can just bounce through these then pretty quick, and if you have something you want to go into detail about, speak up.
Okay.
Solar, job posting,
Job posting, where do we stand with the job posting work?
as far as I know, the last person that we made the offer to didn't accept.
Okay.
So,
It was gonna be reposted.
yeah, the way we left it was to repost it after we found out. I have not talked to Linda to know if it was
I don't think she
reposted.
has posted.
I mean, what are we looking for requirements for that position?
Well, like a couple of water licenses already in hand. We have 2 open positions. We're thinking one of them we could go more to a straight laborer, but
Yeah.
we want people that can rotate in and out of operating the plants. Because if you don't have those licenses and something goes on, you can't call them in to check the plant if an alarm's going off or something like that, they can't do anything. And weekends, we rotate the guys through
Yeah.
so that they can, somebody comes in, checks the stations each day. They can't come in on the weekend and check the station if they're not, don't have a license.
I just think in light of what's happening today with that water main leak on Anameolis, I think some extra set of hands up there would be helpful. Maybe even just starting off with the laborer position if we have 2 positions available, just something.
Yeah, we've actually talked
Without
about that.
licensure or something like
But
that.
then we'd have to put out 2 separate ones and just get, if you get somebody, somebody younger with just the idea that, if they won't decide they like it, they can keep
Yeah.
coming up.
Right.
Luckily, we usually can get somebody at some point from DPW as extra hands if we need them.
I definitely know that Wayne reached out today to see if they could, they were busy doing some.
I think they were busy during the day, but then when we were just talking
Yeah,
here, I thought they said they were gonna send somebody over while they're doing the work.
Yeah, busy for a water leak, that's not good.
no,
We had an emergency today, and not to
Yeah.
have any assistance from any other town department, there's no excuse for that. No excuse.
We'll have to bring that up.
Yep.
Would be appropriate.
I mean, we need to have departments work with each other in this town, and something like this is inexcusable, in my opinion.
I agree.
we were losing water so fast, I jumped in one of the trucks just to drive around.
Terry, I could tell the urgency when I read the email that you sent.
What?
I could tell the urgency of the problem.
I was trying not to get
It's-
everybody
No, I
Oh, it was-
I-
it was-
on the
it
truck
was a
to see
good-
if I could
And apparently it was on the hub, because Paula texted me about something on the hub that
Yeah,
made a
I think
massive leak.
Dylan posted on the hub. I don't do anything with the
Every-
hub at all.
Everything.
Neither do I.
That is sent out.
I get it from,
Yeah,
I posted on the hub.
yeah.
And every time I talked to Wayne, I updated people so people knew what was going on.
Sure, that's how I found, I found out from Paula because she heard it on the hub, and then I read my emails from you, so.
but we have a town, like the town of Bridgewater Facebook page that I post to. I just don't do anything with the hub.
But the good news, they did find it.
Yeah.
It is, in the process of being repaired.
Mhm.
And hopefully nobody, but by the end of tonight, nobody should be out of water. Everything should be back. turned
Well,
on.
I think the people that, if they are, it would just be, some houses on Wheels, but I know that
Yeah.
they're door knocking and stuff, and people.
Yeah,
still don't know.
the way it looked, it should only be a few houses, and,
Yeah.
but that way at least we
Yeah,
can
and I
kind of.
did, I went back and forth a couple times later, like around 4:30 with, fire chief and most, because he was concerned about, that they should be fine with the.
Well, once they get that shut, we can start filling the tanks
Yeah,
back
yeah,
up too, so
exactly.
we don't have to worry about that as
Mhm.
much. Because Wayne said that those tanks were dropping fast, and he had everything running.
Yeah,
You know, I'm surprised where, I went down there earlier, and right from where the leak, well, where they started clearing the brush to get into it to repair the leak, there's a hydrant about 100 feet away. Like, Wayne, what's supplying that hydrant? He says, up the existing 2-inch main. And I can remember years ago, back in the 80s, of a house fire down there that probably used that hydrant off of a 2-inch main.
You know, a lot of old,
I know,
old little pipe that never got taken out of the ground, the new mains got taken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they didn't want to spend the money to do.
No, it makes sense.
Connections over.
Yeah, but now,
But now, eventually
Fortunately,
now
a
you
couple
pay
houses
for
are
it,
connected.
because those things break sometimes. and-
Yep.
Actually, I heard that, I think Sunday, either Saturday night or Sunday, someone on Grant, I don't know if they had actually called it in, but they said they had dirty water coming up. And I wondered, because that's pretty close to that stretch, I'm wondering if that might have been when the break first happened, maybe somebody got a slug of things being stirred up.
Even yesterday, I had nothing, all of a sudden, it was probably like 10:30 today, it was like, we couldn't even keep up with, but, the calls, and it wasn't like designated to one area, it was all over town, so that's, like you said, we gotta get as much help as we can to try to figure out what this is
Yeah.
fast, so.
well, they did a good job
They
locating,
did a very good job.
considering where it
Where
is.
it is.
It's in the middle of no man's land.
Oh, that's one of the first places he checked when we had the big main leak a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
That was one of the first
Mhm.
ones. He said that goes through those areas that they're not, if it's happening, no one's gonna see it.
Mm-hmm,
And a big leak, you'd expect it to come out, wash out a section of road or
Right.
fill somebody's building, depending on where it is. So, no,
And
they
considering,
did an excellent job of
Yeah.
getting out there,
Yeah.
finding it, and getting it under control.
and considering the weather we've had, there's standing water everywhere.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
To
Exactly.
go out and find that as quick as he did, as they did,
No, they did it, they did a good job of
very
that.
good job.
All right, let's see. Okay, so ARPA grant, rates and fees, Wayne was gonna have some stuff on that he was getting from other towns. We've already voted on the water department doing the service tie-ins. Decided they weren't gonna do those anymore.
Yeah.
I think we can take this off for future.
which one?
Discussion vote on water department doing new service tie-ins. I'm pretty sure we voted that through.
Was this supposed to be updates too?
There's supposed to be something, you're supposed to come up with a new form for how they
Is that-
applied for it, but we already did vote for them not to do it, which
I can take that off.
which is a good thing. If they were out there doing a couple of service connections today when that thing happened, and they had holes open somewhere,
Yeah.
we don't have the people and the capacity for that. Water restriction, we probably used more water from the leak today than we've used in a bunch. But he did get the signs, I've seen the signs up
Yeah,
around town, so.
and worth mentioning that, Brett, that Wayne is putting us under a ban right now until this is up and running, right?
Complete water ban after today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Until we're back in business. You put that up on the hub?
Yeah.
Can you?
yeah, I
If you have
posted it on, it was on the last post that came out,
Yeah, I put it up.
and I
Usually-
shared that.
No, I knew you would put it out, I just didn't know if Dylan had
I
shared it,
think
because I'm
usually
not
that's
on that
probably
either.
what I put up there most of the time, right?
Yeah, I was
Not so long.
copy and pasting, and then I was
I'm kinda
sharing what was on the town's page too.
Okay, let's see. So water ban until further notice. Rules and regulations, I think that was what we were talking about for what he's coming up with for that form.
The form, yeah.
So we got nothing for that. 477 West Center Street was
That's the,
Was that the
Up in
the
Honeydew?
multimeters?
behind Honeydew.
right, next to Honeydew.
Yeah.
It was he decided to go with whatever size of the water main for the building.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I think he wanted a 1 inch or something.
Yeah, he was talking, have you heard?
But, no, I haven't heard anything from them. They're still, I didn't even expect me ending up home like that. So I haven't talked to the plumber in a while. But that's something that you make sure you look at.
All right.
I think it was an 1.5 inch water service where they, the calculations provided to us.
So we still don't have anything official
No.
that's come back in from them. All right, well, that's everything on the agenda. What is this in front of me here doing?
So this is, relevant to today. I was thinking about how we can kind of communicate better with residents if something happens, like water main break or something like that. My kids go to the school. If their school bus is 15 minutes late, you get a text saying bus number 1, 15 minutes late.
Okay.
And everyone in town gets that text. So I called the school, I asked them what service they use, and they use Thrill Share, which is a product by Apogee. So I talked to Apogee and asked them, and it turns out they make websites with communication like that for municipalities. So they sent me, I had a meeting with her, she sent me these resources, I dropped them off at town hall, talked to David about it, but I think, I don't know when our contract is up for the town website, but if we go for a service like this at the town level, what they can do is give everyone an account. Water department gets an account, fire department gets an account, police get an account, and within 1 or 2 clicks of a button, you send out a message to everyone, water main breakdown.
Okay, so you're talking about this town-wide, not just for the water department.
Right, so that's why it's,
Okay.
town of West Bridgewater, this is something the selectmen are gonna have to decide for us.
Yeah.
But
Is
is
that
that something that
something-
would benefit us?
Is that something everyone would have to have an app on their phone to?
Probably just the department heads would have, oh, you mean,
No, I mean,
receive
the
text
residents
messages?
of West Bridgewater, yeah.
I don't know how the sign up goes, that's something that she's gonna talk to David about if, he takes a meeting with her. But I don't remember signing up for the school, but I get that text every single time.
Oh, you got a text.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, but you probably, just from the school in
That'd be
general, they probably would have your information
Right.
for
Yeah.
contact anyways, you wouldn't have to sign up
Right.
specifically.
And it's, I imagine it's something you can opt out of if you don't want to be involved in it, but something like today, we could have,
Yeah,
instead of fielding all the comments and everything like that, you can send out 2 buttons, it posts to Twitter, Facebook, everything, with no comments back. That way, you're sharing the information, and you're not getting all that, sometimes just negative comments.
of
Or,
course.
the fire department can say, this road's closed due to a fire. The police department can say, stay off of this, So it's a pretty neat service. She walked me through it, sent these out, and I tried to get her to meet up with the selectmen and talk to some of the selectmen. They're interested in it.
Okay.
But it all comes down to when our town's contract is up with their current website provider.
Is that what Sarah does, or he just does the hardware stuff?
Oh, Ed Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he does just do that.
Just the hardware.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is like the
Well, they,
future of.
they can look into it and,
Yeah, I just wanted to share what I was
Okay.
working on.
well, because it would be good to be able to, one quick blast,
Yeah,
everybody gets the information as opposed to having to be,
Right.
using something at the time to see it pop up or
right.
automatically they have the phone, they're gonna get an answer.
Yeah, they know the water's dirty before they run that faucet, that'd be nice.
But when Wayne called me, and I still had plenty of pressure up, but we have, in between, Manley Street out to the end. So if Manley Street's running the pressure up that way, you can see we drop by much at all.
Yeah, I didn't really get calls, a lot of calls on North Elm Street, Kent Street, but
Yeah,
majority of calls were
between,
Hatfield Street, Woodland Road, East Center Street, mostly out here, but then there was like, Woodrow, it was all.
yeah, like from here to the tanks and out though, nothing
Nope,
the other side.
yeah,
It's nice that he found it before those tanks emptied, so.
Just on the side, what would have happened, say the ground's frozen and it's the middle of February? How would you find it then? What is the,
Well, eventually the water will hopefully show up. I mean, what you do then, you start either isolating areas, you know, you
Yeah.
get some, you know, you shut the valves down and see if you shut a valve down and the pressures all recover,
yeah,
then the leak's on the other side, you know, this,
You just start breaking it
it's
up.
just a huge endeavor to,
oh, it is. And we have a lot of old pipe, and we have a
Yeah.
lot of, you know, again, those old 2 inches that come off. There's all kinds of potentials.
but I think one of the saving graces today is that on his iPod, or iPad, whatever, he knew exactly where the main was. It was essentially he was walking over and he said, you could hear the leak.
No, the GIS stuff, and
So
Oh.
important.
Rick Kruger was the big,
Yep.
real big advocate. He pushed for that and made sure everything got in and updated.
Yeah.
And because of that, I mean, that's why we have that stuff.
Yeah.
But also, you know, Wayne has a good knowledge of what's around and what's likely. You know, we have certain types of main construction that he knows are more likely because of the number of joints you might get a leak out of. Places to check first and where to look. So at least you can kind of narrow it down.
Yeah.
And this time, you know, again, this time we were lucky because it did it in that area. But it's, I mean, miserable area to be in.
Oh, boy, I tried going out there with my gator through Matfield, and we got right to the stream, and the stream was 1.5 feet deep there, and it's just,
Yeah.
it gave up in a retreat.
Hey, Bob.
Couldn't
They
get through
float.
it. I'd be in the swamp right
Come
now.
on, they float.
Wow.
Speaking of Rick, do we want to have him come in to present him with this?
Yeah, I actually talked to him today. He was gonna talk to the boss and see if he could come to the next meeting.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we had decided that last time was to
Mhm.
not come to the one now, the one in August.
Okay.
Yeah, talk to the boss. Can I go out and play? Well, that, and again, it's a good opportunity to say thanks, because he did. That's why he's a big reason we got all the GIS stuff in town that we have, because he pushed that from day one, keeping it updated. And, you know, for a small department, we've got a pretty good setup, and again, Wayne knows how to use it and
Yeah,
leverage it.
I think about that all the time, because he keeps saying, 5 years from now, or 6 years from now, like, and then right at the middle, like now, Randy's been here, but he doesn't have the knowledge that Wayne does. So
No.
I think about that all the time, because if he, once he does, nobody really knows the system and stuff, so that's kind of a scary thing.
You know, and it went from Rick, who knew it,
Yeah,
what was being done, and Wayne with all that,
Mm-hmm,
period. It's gonna be a tough
yeah, totally,
change.
yep.
Does anybody else have anything they would like to bring up?
All right.
Next meeting,
Next meeting would be,
August 7th, Monday, August 7th.
this time, 'cause I didn't the last time. Yeah, they haven't come up with a Monday holiday for August yet, huh?
I will make a motion to adjourn at 5:45.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? You're done.